There's a rumor going around that some kind of spider might have killed Sam Metcalf.
Welcome back to Classics of Cinematics. Today we'll be diving into the spine-chilling world of Arachnophobia, the 1990 horror comedy film that left audiences both terrified and entertained. Directed by Frank Marshall, this hair-raising tale revolves around a small town plagued by deadly spiders after a rare South American species is accidentally released. Arachnophobia stars Jeff Daniels as Dr. Jennings and John Goodman as exterminator Delbert McClintock. Released to critical acclaim, Arachnophobia managed to crawl its way to success at the box office, spinning a web of terror that amassed over $53 million worldwide. Join us as we revisit this creepy crawly classic and explore why it continues to haunt the hearts of viewers even after all of these years.
Hey folks, man, this is Monk, and we are back with another episode of Classics of Cinematics, and I'm joined as always with my co-host. We got Bobbly Blockbuster.
Yo.
Yeah, folks, man, today we've got a special film, and this is coming from, I forgot what year this was.
1990.
1990, yeah. So this is kind of a horror thriller kind of film, I think it is a little light on the horror. It's kind of cheating a little bit, but we're talking about 1990s arachnophobia, you know what I'm saying? And I say it's cheating because people are already freaked out by spiders,
Dude,
man.
Spiders are creepy. They're scary just in real life. They're scary on film.
So they didn't have to do a whole lot to get the ick already going. Exactly. But so what we liking about this thing, man?
I mean, I like this story. For me, this one, it kind of has the same effect as like Alfred Hitchcock, what he brought with like The Birds. You know what I'm saying? But more so than the story, I like the concept. Like we already touched on the fact that spiders are creepy, okay? Just on their own. But the way that they deliver this story with this concept, it kind of hits like, it has like this alien invasion undertone. You know what I mean? Like the spiders are taking over. But these spiders are just, they're not quote unquote normal, but they're not genetically mutated. They're not enhanced in any way. It's just this spider that's the damn size of a football that's out in the remote jungle in Venezuela, you know what I'm saying? Hitches the ride back and, comes to this rural town. I don't even know where this town's actually supposed to take place. I think they show us the sign of the town name, but they never really hit on where it is. But it's definitely the Burbs. And, as it goes through this big, massive spider, with this family, they move into a new home and they find a house spider, which is above average size for any house spider I've ever seen. But then again, I don't have, these kind of woods in my backyard. So I don't know what kind of spiders you have if you have that element going on in your backyard. But the house spider looks about, that big, and the two mate, and then they create this hybrid house spider that is like extremely venomous. And that's the thing too. Like they give these spiders this dimension where, they are venomous, but when they kill you, they bite you, you die within like a minute, and it looks like you have a heart attack. So
puts you in a cardiac arrest. I do want to point out this takes place in Canaima, California.
Okay. See, I thought I would have never guessed this was wine country.
Which isn't a good place for this to be going down because that weather is pretty even there, and these are spiders coming from a tropical area. So
exactly. So and and the cool thing is then we also get this. Like I said, we get this jungle spider that has made his way here, and it really hits on the fact that when you take something out of its natural environment, then it will find any means to survive, and evolution is inevitable. You know what I'm saying?
If it can, it's like that whole thing about invasive species, man. And it's also a testament to how small the world is. Like that spider was no problem where it was at. They even talk about it in the movie. It was like it was living in a contained environment.
Yes.
And once you take it out of that, then it has the potential to spread at least all across the world and the nation now. Like, and it's crazy.
And it's really cool. So they do a great job in giving us this dynamic of the spider to make it all make sense. But then we get this like, new family to a new town vibe where they're just trying to fit in.
That's kind of tropey. Like
it is.
It get me like the family stuff that's going on here. I was feeling Pet Sematary. vibes because he's like the doctor, and the same thing, he's the doctor that moves to the town.
Yeah,
you know
except instead of a cursed cemetery and having to fight off death and resurrected loved ones, you got to fight off
spiders,
alien spiders, man.
Yeah.
But
I definitely love the story setup, man. I think that's a strong point of this movie.
It is, and then and the thing is like with these two main factors, and then you sprinkle in the different personalities from the town folks. I mean, this is a clear cut example of with this story where less is more, and it's effective because of that. They don't have to overdo it. It's not like something like 8-Legged Freaks where you got to have something crazy happen to have these spiders like the size of houses. Yeah, I like it as well.
That was crazy. It's like more with the radiation.
Yeah, but I mean, most of the time, when we have films like this, there has to be something extra that happens, like Deep Blue Sea. Oh no, you're messing with their brains
this
to make them
smart. This is following
smart.
the Piranha model.
Yeah,
where once again you got something that would be cool in its normal environment.
Yes.
It's known about, but then you're moving it to somewhere else where it's more likely to run into people.
Yes,
and you know what I'm saying. It'd be a nuisance.
Yes, and not for nothing. What these spiders remind me of are like the rats from Willard, man.
Yeah,
like they start attacking like pack animals, and it's like man, and that's the thing about these spiders, man. They are really smart.
They're swarm.
They attack like a pack. Yes, and it's not, and they touch on that. It's not normal. Yeah. But the thing is then like. They also hiss like snakes and they jump at you, dog. Like, I'm not big on bugs. This is duly noted from anyone that knows me in the real world. If I were to see that big ass spider, dog, it wouldn't have to bite me to have a heart attack. I'd have a heart attack if I was in the same room with it.
Spiders can jump though, like, but it's interesting because you got like the queen spider, which is more tarantula like. Then you got the drones, which are these smaller. They look like Daddy Long Legs has been working out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They got a like,
and they can tell the drones because they don't have either part, man. They're just like they got everything else, but they just don't have. They're
just as deadly.
Yes, they are.
Oh my God! Is there just a romance scene?
Yes. Look, dude. Yes, it's so funny, dude. Yeah, like when they first move in, Jeff Daniels and his wife, they getting busy, and then it shows the little house spider and the big ass spider. They're like, oh, love is in the air down there in California, Canaima.
It's wild, man. But that's essentially the story. They spread out, and then, like you said, people start ending up dead. Jeff Daniels starts putting it together because he seems to be the only one that care. Everyone's being dismissive. Oh, like all of a sudden you just having mad heart attacks in the town? Like that's so crazy.
And the thing,
and I guess they're it's kind of a movie trope too, where you have the analysts and what were those guys called? The coroners.
Yes.
And they're just really trying to get to the quickest solution. No critical thinking, just whatever's more convenient.
The thing that makes the story work too is because essentially he moved his family to this part of town because the small town doctor gave him a promise of retirement.
Yeah.
And so he was like, okay, I'm gonna get all your business. I'm the only doctor in town. It's kind of we'll be set. And then when he moves his family down there 4 months later, he finds out that this doctor now no longer wants to retire. And so the small amount of patients that the new doctor and Jeff Daniels that he does see, right after he sees them, coincidentally enough, they also have interaction with the spider. They get bit. They have a heart attack. So like the word's going around the town like, yo, man, if this doctor comes and sees you, you die shortly after. And then, the old town doctor, he's not helping it out none because he's like, yeah, man, so-and-so seen him and then he died. Last time I saw him, he was healthy. So you figure it out. It's fucked up.
So that's cool. I think the thing we could really talk about next, man, just the spidery and the tech, because I love how it's not really a lot of, maybe we get a little bit of animatronics when we were looking at the bigger spiders, but for the most part, this thing is like, they're real spiders. They're using this thing with practical effects. They're doing animal wrangling techniques to get these shots from these spiders. Like you see the big tarantula actually crawling through stuff. When the smaller spiders are in the scene, they're using, crawling around. And there's some interesting behind the scenes stuff of this you could probably find on YouTube now, where they show how they were doing that, like using blow dryers to urge the spiders along to get the shots that they wanted. Because those spiders, the bigger ones, not the bigger, the little guys that were in all this. I forgot what species they were, but they're pretty much a harmless species. But they were also easy to manipulate and get them to do what they wanted to do.
So to your point, the only animatronics that they used was at the very end. Mm-hmm. They used the animatronic big spider. All the other spiders in this were real. The small ones were called Avondale spiders. They said there's a harmless species from New Zealand.
Yeah.
The big boy, that's... You know what this thing is called, dog? A bird eater tarantula.
Yeah, that's the biggest. They're like
bird eating tarantula.
This thing, maybe I forgot the
particular
span of it's probably bigger than this ring light around.
This particular one, they said they from leg to leg, a foot long, bro.
Yeah, dude.
That's why, like, there's a part at the end when Jeff Daniels is fighting him. He hits him with a wine bottle. It sounds like a metal bat hitting a softball. Ting. It's like what? No way. And that's the other thing too. Is to your point. Yes, you cannot train spiders. But what they did is they had an entomatologist, a spider guy or girl, spider person, bug person that specialized in spider work. On set, and they said that they used like vibrating strips to kind of keep them from going certain places or kind of walking in line, and also oddly enough, lemon pledge furniture polish wax. Like they refused to walk on that, so
I could see that also making it slick for them to be able to grip in certain surfaces.
Yeah,
too.
And then they said that the only addition, like aesthetically, or that they really added to the spiders was on the big one. They painted some purple stripes on them and added a prosthetic abdomen to him to
make it bigger, like
kind of give him some bulk because his legs were bigger than his body. But outside of that, I mean, it was all about the safety of the spiders. Like they said that this was like top on the list while producing this film. They went through great lengths. Like every time they used like what is the stuff you spray on to kill the pesticide, it was water. Even they went as far as to when John Goodman steps on the spider, dude, he was wearing a boot with a hollowed out sole with a sponge on it. So all the dead spiders they already had died from natural causes. So I mean,
it's crazy because back in the day, they would have did this totally different. Because like I'm thinking of a movie like, you ever seen Food of the Gods?
Yeah.
Where and how they was straight shooting rats, bro, with like 22 rifles. Like and you can see it in the movie. And like even now, even though rats are rats, like that wouldn't fly today.
No,
animal people
none of it would.
Oh my god, that is
cannibal
so
holocaust. They beat a tortoise to death. Or I mean, you got the ultimate animal cruelty movie in Milo and Otis.
Yeah, that was pretty
terrible.
Bad. I think there's a couple animals died during that.
More than a couple, dog. More than a couple. I watched this documentary. It was very, very disturbing.
Damn. Then back in the day, they I think what kind of spurred this was some of the old westerns back in the day. There was one movie where they ran a horse off a cliff. And like I'm like, bro, like on camera, like and that was cool back then.
Yeah. It's insane. It's insane. But it's cool because, and that's the thing. I know we've heard like loose rumors of them doing a remake of this. And and my only thing is if they don't use real spiders, if they CG it, I don't feel it's going to hit as hard.
It could.
I mean, it's possible, but one of the key elements of this is the fact that they're using these real spiders, and I
think if they had another option, they probably would have. If you know what I'm saying, because at that time when this was made, but the technology wasn't there.
Yeah, but I mean, but that's what gives this film its oomph. Because even like the way that the cameras work and everything, the way they shoot this, at times it looks like a National Geographic film, dog. Like the way they do the close-ups on the spiders, they give the spiders personality. It's almost like they look like they have facial expressions and stuff. And,
I don't know about
man, dude, I'm telling you, like the way their bodies move and stuff, you see them like they get all like predator and stalky. I
feel like if you could do anything where because a lot of times we run into that thing with the CG where it's that uncanny valley where you could tell. But like insects are probably going to be one of the easier ones to try to imitate with that technology versus like a tiger with fur and rippling muscles and stuff like that. But I'm curious to see how they do it.
This episode is brought to you by Classics of Cinematics merchandise. Now, it's well known I love to crack open a big green can of alcohol-infused awesome. The only thing that makes this beverage taste better is when I drink it out of this Classics of Cinematics mug. Damn, that's tasty. Don't be afraid to be cool. Get yours today by clicking the link below.
Yeah, but this says here that the remake is set to go into production soon. And I think Happy Death Day director Christopher Landon is going to be the one that's directing this. But this might be pushed back further because of the recent strike. But he has confirmed that the script for the film has been completed and that there are certain elements to the film that are already beginning to manifest. So I don't know. We got a year. I'm guessing maybe 2025 if things hash out with this strike and all that stuff.
I just wonder if they're going to try and lean heavier on the horror side or keep this one kind of creepy and lighthearted horror. You know, a little more on the natural scare of it.
I think we need to go in and keep it in the same tone. You know, maybe scale it up a little bit.
That's what
put
works
a different
for this
situation or something.
And then on that note, I wonder who they're going to have as the cast because, outside of the Spider Star of the show, they did a great job with the casting. I think Jeff Daniels did great as the lead role. Like, for me, it always works when you use, like, a comedic figure to play a more serious role. It seems like they're...
Look, I got faith in the director, at least so far, that's attached to this. Because I love
true.
those Happy Death Day movies.
Yeah.
So he seems like a guy that gets it, and it seems like something that he wants to do versus someone just taking a job for a check.
Yeah. But yeah, back with this one with the casting, I think it was real smart choice to lead off with Jeff Daniels, like, because when you use those comedy actors, actresses to play the serious roles, it seems like, to me personally, their expressions in certain situations, be it their body mannerisms or facial expressions, they seem more authentic, more believable. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody don't just scream in terror all the time. But this fact that this doctor has this arachnophobia, his squeamishness is it's really at the forefront, and I think Jeff Daniels did a good job.
Was he like a full on comedy guy though?
He was in more comedy roles.
But I feel like I'm looking at his previous things. Let me see. Did Ragtime, Terms of Endearment.
See, I just think of him as Lloyd.
Purple Rose. That's what I'm saying.
Dumb and Dumber.
I think that came later. Something Wild. He was in that with that's kind of a dark comedy. Something Wild with him and I think that's Melody Griffith did a film Heartburn, Radio Days. So I feel like he's more of a kind of more drama dude until this film came, and then later on it would be later that we got a lot of fucking films before we get to Dumb and Dumber. Even
I didn't know it was in Speed,
Gettysburg, Rain Without Thunder, so There Goes the Neighborhood. I don't know. It's weird. I think he was doing a little bit of everything,
Well, he did what he needed to do.
But Dumb and Dumber definitely solidified him as that comedy guy.
Because with him just being the simple man in a simple town, he plays a very believable character. But for me personally, like the standout is
he should have been the dad in Pet Sematary.
He should have. For me, the standout in this was the ultimate assist man of the 90s.
Goodman.
Was John Goodman, dude.
Yeah.
He kills it as a supporting role all the time, dude. Like he's just, and it seems like with him, especially particularly him, the more serious he tries to be, the funnier it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's that guy that's goofy and unawares, bad self-awareness, making crazy comments and shit. And like, bro, you gotta relax.
And then it's funny too because I like the scientist. He was played by Julian Sands. And I like him particularly because of his role in this. But this is the only other movie I've seen him in outside of Warlock, and I like Warlock.
No, I love that guy, dude. He's good in this shit, though.
Yeah,
as a scientist,
but as a scientist, he's believable.
But he's also a dick too when he first calls him. Hey, did you know there's 3 million spiders and they eat 500 bugs a year? I'm messing all that up.
You know what I'm
saying?
He's a douche. But that, I don't know anybody that's in that profession, but he seems kind of. Seems like one of those guys that just likes his job.
He has a distinct look, though, man. Yeah, that's definitely Warlock.
I've only seen him in Warlock.
That's the only thing I've seen.
That's it.
We should probably talk about Warlock one day, man.
We have to.
That was a wild.
That was a tripped out movie. And then it's funny because then you get all the townspeople. I think they did their thing with that. But the funniest thing about this, dude, if you look at the casting bill, they have Michael J. Fox on the casting bill, and I was like, why? Why is he? He's not in this. There's a small part in this where the family is watching an episode of Family Ties, and Michael J. Fox is on now. I was like, dude, you got to give credit to
that's weird
to the TV show that they watching in the movie. It's like, wow, who would have thunk it? But they did it, so we got that shaking.
Yeah. I mean, overall, it maintains a creepy vibe throughout until we get to our finale. We probably could have trimmed a little bit of fat. Like the whole fucking gym class coffin scene. I was like, yeah, we know he's a doctor. That shit.
Right.
So because this thing comes in, it could have been a tight 90, but it's about 1 hour 40 minutes. So definitely could have cut some of the shit out, and you still would have been just effective. But overall, I like it, man. Like even the way we get the cool setup in the beginning that explains the spider comes to town, and I even like the spider stalking scenes, like even a couple watching a movie and eating the popcorn and shit, like those scenes, or when the spider's in the locker room and crawls in the kid's helmet. So I like those scenes that set up the danger of these spiders being in this town, because eventually, man, like dude said, if this thing spread to, like, they were already causing problems, so probably would have got to everybody.
It would have got to everyone. Yes. And another thing that really enhances the spider in itself is the dude who did the score. I mean, they kind of give the spiders a Jaws effect without giving them the same song playing every time the spider's around. Yeah. But there is a complete tonal shift in the film, and this creepy music starts playing. And like with the last, I'd say about 15 to 20 minutes of the film in the final battle, it's nonstop music. It's like it's a straight adrenaline rush. It keeps the blood flowing. So not only are we seeing all this stuff happening, but you're processing, you're hearing it, like you feel the energy that's going on that's matching what you're seeing on screen. I mean, overall, I have nothing really bad. Oh, you know what? You got to point this out. One mistake that they made in the original cover art. See, I got the DVD. This so in the original cover art, they had a spider coming down over the town. I feel like
I remember that.
Yeah, and that was in the movie. That was in the movie posters and all that stuff. Yeah. They said that they took the spider out in VHS and DVDs, and there's no spider here, which that to me makes absolutely no sense, because it removes the one major element of this film. Not to say that messed up, sales or anything, but
that is weird to take that spider out.
Like,
that's like, was it freaking people out and making them not want to?
No
there it is, right there. When I bring it up on the web,
you see what I'm saying? So.
Why would you do that?
That's a key element. That's like them taking Toxie off the cover of Toxic
you just
Avenger.
Take the Jaws off the cover.
Yeah, it's just a chick swimming. Like, you see what I'm saying? So like that. Whatever.
Why would they do that?
Whatever genius thunk of that. You just need to go in the corner and smack yourself 2 times for that.
Over that?
No explanation. They just did it, and then they said they put the spider back when they started dropping on DVD. So somebody caught the major mishap and fixed it now in later days.
Maybe the artwork got sent out that didn't have the spider drawn yet. Maybe the spider was added later, and then when it went to production, they sent out the version without the spider.
It's just kind of like, even it's all in the film. It's called Arachnophobia. It just shows what looks like a nice town with a moon, and it looks nice outside.
Yeah, somebody brought it up on Reddit, but I don't think no one had any explanation.
Oh, okay, cool. So I'm not the only one that feels that way. That's cool. But outside of that, I feel like this is a fun film.
If somebody said they thinking if they put the spider in, and they would have to pay the artist again that put the spider, and they didn't. Well, I was like, I don't know. That couldn't have been.
That's a
much.
Reach too.
Yeah, and if you already bought the artwork, you own it, then you can alter that shit all you want. Like, I could put a spider on that shit right now. In 3 minutes.
They can make a spider look like the bat signal or something. There's a lot of different ways. Be creative, man. We live in a world where we're scared to be creative and lack originality. But yeah, they took the spider out. But like I said, overall, I enjoy this film. It's a fun family watch. It's fun for all ages because it's creepy, but not like monster creepy. So as far as the horrific element, it's not that. It's lighthearted. For me, the rewatchability is there. It's a fun time. It plays pretty fast. The most drawn out part of this film for me is the first maybe 15 minutes, and that's when they're in the safari. But that's where we get all the explanations, so it's relevant. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And it's kind of cool too, man, just to be in that tropical locale. Because Because the rest of the movie just looks like your hometown.
Yeah,
like it's cool to kind of see that wild environment and the animals and
it makes it make sense because the spider hitches a ride in the coffin, so that's how it gets to this particular town. So I mean, they covered all their
that house is kind of dope though.
It is
big ass farm,
but it's got bad wood in the basement, dog.
Oh shit, yeah, it does, man. Yeah, I think that's it, man. We could wrap this up, folks, man. But definitely check out Arachnophobia, man, and I hope they do remake this, man. That's something I'd like to see.
I'll check it out. Yeah, why not?
I would definitely
just don't oversee.
And speaking of spiders, man, if you haven't seen that Across the Spider-Verse, man, 2 thumbs up. If I was a spider, I'd give it 8 thumbs up.
Oh man,
this thing it might be my film of the year, and I've seen it twice so far. And it's crazy because the second watching makes it even better because it's such a layered film, man. It's really dope, dude. Spiders are dope, man.
I like them from a distance. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Yeah, folks. I think that's it, man. We're gonna wrap this up. Yeah, man. Buy us some merch, man. You can get this cool ass Strooms t-shirt in the store that's in there, man. As well as the classic of cinematics t-shirt, coffee mug, sticker, whatever you can afford, man. That's going to help us out a lot.
Yes.
And you can catch us at Classes of Cinematics on Instagram and at Classes of Cinematics on YouTube. That's what this channel is. Where you watching this now? I'm bugging out. But we're also on Spotify too, man, if you just want to listen, man. Mm-hmm. But you can catch me, Monkey Blood, on Twitter and Instagram.
This is Bobbly Blockbuster. You can catch me on the next show.
All right, folks. Peace.